Hello and good morning. My name's Laurel, and I've been videotaping myself daily for a couple years on my commute back and forth to work, which is only about 5 minutes away. So these are very quick. These are not rehearsed. These are just me talking. The video quality may not be the best, the audio quality may not be the best, but I'm really hoping that the content is what has brought you here. I am a 53-year-old mother of one. My daughter is 22. I live with my boyfriend in his home where I rent, and I work for the state at a fairly blasé job in an office cubicle. Okay, so my life, if you were to look from the outside in, is quite mediocre. And then let's add the fact that my daughter struggles. I've made a lot of videos about dealing with the mental health system and that whole nightmare, but I'm putting that behind me and I'm refocusing because it's her story to tell, and I don't really want to tell her story, but I will tell my part of her story because there's other parents that I guarantee are going through similar struggles. So that will be incorporated into my videos, but I'm not going to focus on that. The other part of this is I'm going through menopause. So for the past year, I've gained over 15 pounds. I've dealt with hot flashes and the hormonal changes, the zero sex drive, the ups and downs, and just about everything you can imagine that goes with menopause, which sucks. Like, I heard it sucked. I didn't realize to what extent it sucked. There's me, who lives paycheck to paycheck, works at a mediocre job. Like, I don't hate it, but there's nothing spectacular about it. I work for the state. I get okay benefits. I live with my boyfriend. We are very opposite in a lot of ways, and there's a whole lot of struggles going on there. I rent from his place. All of this adding up, well, to be honest, the main catalyst is what's been going on with my daughter for almost 8 years now, and it's just gotten worse. So I just want you to imagine this. You're raising a very happy, healthy, beautiful young woman who is funny and loves you, and just imagine you being connected to your daughter as it should be, this being your only child. You love them more than life itself, and suddenly something takes over and your child is no longer there, or the child that you know is no longer there, and something very dark has taken over. Everything that you guided your child to become ends up going away with the illness that has taken over. So I'm not trying to be all bleak, but I'm just giving you a quick history, a debriefing of what I'm all about. This brought me to a very dark place, where I didn't really feel like I wanted to wake up the next day. And I'm just gonna tell you, that's how it felt. Between everything going on, all these emotions, and that loss, and the realization that that loss could be forever. The best way I could describe it is, imagine your child's been kidnapped and you've tried everything under the sun to bargain with the captor and to get your child back, only to be told it's not going to happen, that you have to learn to live with the captor. Even before all of this happened, I started with self-help. I started with The Secret, like a lot of people do. I started that when I was going through a very painful divorce. And that just led me to Law of Attraction, led me to Esther and Jerry Hicks, led me to a lot of self-help shit, which eventually led me to like the Tony Robbins, and you know what I'm saying, all the woo-woo stuff that I'm not poo-pooing on, but what I'm saying is it just led me down this path of trying to help myself, doing anything I can to feel some sense of relief. And I think a lot of us do that. And then what do? We pay a lot of money for this, don't we? We buy all the books, we buy all the courses, we go to these damned seminars. We pay a lot of money to try to feel better. And okay, at least that's what I did. And I really feel like a lot of people can relate to this. No matter what trauma you've gone through or struggles, you'll do anything to feel some sense of relief and some sense of hope, right? And so what I want to do is give you a little sense of that without charging an arm and a leg, without charging anything. I just want to share how I have learned to cope, to have hope, to deal with it all. And I will tell you, it has to do with a book called The Course in Miracles. Now, keep in mind, I'm not pushing any of this. I do not suggest that you follow my footsteps. I'm going to tell you what I've done and what I've learned, the little tidbits that I've taken, and I'm going to share them. It may or may not resonate with you. I say, if it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, just skip on past it, because everyone's unique, and everyone is going to have different coping mechanisms. So I've been reading A Course in Miracles. I've been reading the Bible for the first time ever at the age of 53. Reading the Bible, meditating, and I finally surrendered myself to God. God, which a few years ago was a dirty word in my book, because I have always been resistant to religion. I was very resistant to the word God, and I still have a little bit of that. This is going to turn people off, but it doesn't matter, because now I know. I do know there's a God. I know there's a higher power. It has lifted me out of some very deep depressions, and I'm just going to share it with you. So if any of that sounds interesting, tune in. Yesterday I had some bad news about my daughter. She's in a supportive living environment, and I'm trying to get guardianship, and let's just say things are not going well in that area. I heard from my daughter's attorney, and just a reminder that this month court is coming up. It is me trying to get guardianship, her father trying to get guardianship, my daughter fighting the guardianship. So there's that. So that kind of put me in a little bit of a funk. So here we are, starting day one. I hope that you find some interest in this, and I hope that what I will have to say will be helpful to some of you.